There's nothing like playoff football in a blizzard. Well, those will be the conditions today here at Lincoln Financial Field for the Philadelphia Eagles divisional round matchup as they are set to face off against the 6th-seeded Chicago Bears. The Eagles are looking to get back to the NFC Championship for the first time since the 2017 season, in which, of course, as we all know, they ended up winning their first and so far only Super Bowl championship. Last episode, we had our wild card game against the 49ers. It was a good one. We ended up winning 23-21 in what ended up being a very exciting wild card weekend around the rest of the NFL. The Niners gave us some trouble, but we were able to finish off the job at the end of the game and win our first playoff game of this series. All three wild card teams in the NFC won, so because of that, we get to host a playoff game today after going on the road for our first playoff game last week. So certainly a little bit of an advantage for us as we do get to return home, but in inclement weather conditions, to put it lightly. There will be a blizzard in Philadelphia this weekend. Us and the Bears both have experienced in the cold weather. I don't think it's going to be an advantage for either side, the fact that it's snowing, but it will be a little bit harder for both teams to reach their top speeds and make cuts in and out. So both teams will see pretty big drops in speed, acceleration, agility, and change of direction. I think most players ended up losing 4 in each of those attributes. We had a big injury last week. Our superstar X-Factor rookie pass rusher, Jabari Achabe, tore his abdominal. He will not return unless we make the Super Bowl. So if we do make the big game, he'll be back. If not, his rookie season is over. This Bears team is really, really solid, led by third-year quarterback Justin Fields, who's been everything they had hoped for and more. The Bears have made the playoffs in each of the first 3 seasons in this series, including an NFC Championship berth back in year number 1. And they're looking to get back there with Justin Fields, who is a proven winner. He won in high school, he won in college, and now he's winning in the pros. The Bears have a ton of talent on both sides of the ball, but they will be without one of their key starters. Wide receiver Darnell Mooney is nursing a broken wrist, so he will not be in action today. And behind Allen Robinson, they're going to need some of their younger receivers like Dexter Dixon and Dominic Hughes to step up. The game plan will be stopping the run and running the ball. With the weather today, I think both teams are going to want to focus on the ground game, and both of these teams have good rushing attacks. It's no secret that the Eagles know how to run the ball with their two-headed monster in the backfield of Tazewell Hubbard and Rosemont St. Clair. The Bears are also a team who knows how to run the football. They have a very good interior offensive line, and David Montgomery is one of the best backs in the NFL. So it should be a very fun game today. The Eagles are looking to get back to the NFC Championship, and the Bears as well are trying to get there for the second time in this series. Of course, the last time these two teams played in a playoff game, the Eagles ended up winning off of a double doink, a missed game-winning field goal attempt from former Eagle kicker Cody Parkey, and now both teams rematch a few years later, but these teams have changed dramatically. Both squads obviously have new quarterbacks. The bulk of these teams have changed a lot. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. NFC Divisional Round, Eagles and Bears. This game is underway as Zebediah Phoenix kicks it off, and it'll be received by the second-year wide receiver Dexter Dixon III out of Mississippi State, who brings it to the 24. Along with the snow, we have 12-mile-an-hour winds today as well, so the wind will also make a big impact as we look at third-year quarterback Justin Fields. He threw 16 interceptions this season, among the top of the league, but this kid's a winner. He has been phenomenal for the Bears and has been arguably the best quarterback in the 2021 draft class thus far. First play from scrimmage, Fields goes short for his running back Montgomery. He is hit hard by C.J. Thomas, but not before a gain of 11. Montgomery is probably the best player on this offense, but Fields has a number of weapons, such as Allen Robinson, Cole Kmet, and some of the other young receivers they have. Is on third down. The pass for Dominic Hughes is incomplete. So now we look at the Eagles offense featuring Jalen Hurts, who struggled in last week's playoff win over San Francisco, only completing 50% of his passes, and really did not perform well at all in the second half. On 3rd and 11, he connects with Rosemont St. Clair for a gain of 17 yards. St. Clair is one of 3 Eagle receivers to reach the 1,000-yard mark this season. Tazewell Hubbard now with a nice move down the field. Hubbard still on his feet, and he was wrapped up at the 2. A gain of 47 yards for the rookie Tazewell Hubbard, who played very well last week against the 49ers, is already off to a big start here. The Eagles are having some trouble punching it in as Akeem Hicks sacks Jalen Hurts there on 3rd and goal. Hurts loses about 8 or 9, so despite getting very close to the end zone, Philadelphia will only be able to settle for a field goal. The 29-yard attempt by kicker Zebediah Phoenix goes down the uprights, and the Philadelphia Eagles are on the board. They lead it 3-0. Pretty good start here for Philadelphia. The snow certainly making an impact along with the wind as the Bears have it back. 2nd and 9. Justin Fields goes short for Montgomery. Breaks the tackle from Wagner and is wrapped up by Nwosu and Thomas. David Montgomery has caught both of Justin Fields' passes so far, both of which have gone for first downs. Very next play, Fields with a strike for Allen Robinson, who brings it past midfield. Nehemiah Richardson is going to have his hands full. Richardson shut down Deebo Samuel last week and will look to do the same against A-Rob. On first down, it's a dump off for Kmet. Gets by the defender and is wrapped up inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. A nice gain of 20 for Cole Kmet, who has developed into a great player for the Bears. Now 2nd and 3 from the 8. Fields to the end zone. It's a touchdown. Allen Robinson had the middle of the end zone completely wide open and is able to capitalize as the Chicago Bears are on the board and they have the lead 7-3. The Eagles have the ball back. 2nd and 16. Short throw for Rosemont St. Clair, who gets the first down to the 38. Both quarterbacks have really leaned on their running backs early to make plays in the pass game. I guess both teams are a little bit gun-shy because of the weather and the wind. Hurts is sacked on first down by Jelani Tavai. God, that name makes me cringe as a Lions fan. A loss of 9 on the play for Hurts, now a 3rd and 7. Hurts drops back to throw it, scrambling to the left side, trying to make something out of nothing. He goes short for Tazewell Hubbard, and he's going to end up losing about 7 or 8. Khalil Mack, the all-pro pass rusher and future Hall of Famer, brings him down. So that will conclude the first quarter. Tight start so far. The Bears are looking pretty good early on. They lead 7-3. But in the wild card game, the Eagles were down 14-6 in the first quarter and then had the lead by halftime. So we'll see if Philadelphia can have a similar second quarter to what they had last week. Good first down catch there by Kmet to the 34-yard line. The Bears' offense started slow, along with Justin Fields in specific, but it seems like he has really found a groove as he goes back for Kmet, who is popped on the play by Joko Nwosu. Cole Kmet has certainly been the safety blanket so far for Justin Fields. Kmet already with 4 catches for 57 yards. Fields goes deep, and it is intercepted! What a play by Nehemiah Richardson to get the interception and force the turnover. Richardson picked off Trey Lance last week, and now today he intercepts Justin Fields. An unbelievable play by Richardson, who really played the ball perfectly on that to get the interception. The Eagles force a massive turnover, and they will get the ball back. The Eagles' offense is struggling early out of the turnover as it's a 3rd and 11 from the 20. Hurts going to the left side. Under a lot of pressure, he just goes short for Smith, but it's broken up. So the Bears' defense forces a stop, and the turnover proves to not be that big of a deal. Chicago has it back on offense. David Montgomery with an unbelievable stiff arm. Montgomery is going to take it the distance. A 49-yard touchdown, and the Chicago Bears are now up by 2 scores. A filthy touchdown run by David Montgomery, who completely just humiliated a defender. We've got to see that replay again. The Eagles' run defense really started that playoff strong, but Montgomery bounces off a blocker, and then right there, just stiff arms Deshaun Elliott into oblivion. Deshaun Elliott is no slouch. He was a Pro Bowler this year, but David Montgomery made him his you-know-what. So now it's 14-3. The Eagles have it back. Very risky throw for Tykeem Keon. That very easily could have been a turnover, but Keon, who had an awesome performance last week, is able to get the first down. 3rd and 8 now. Hurts under a lot of pressure. He connects with Rosemont St. Clair. Down the sidelines, wrapped up at the 35. Khalil Mack was in the face of Jalen Hurts, but he's able to find his main man, St. Clair, who's been the go-to guy in the passing game so far. On first down, it's picked off. Bartholomew Claybrook with the interception, and he's going to take it for a pick 6. And the Chicago Bears are up 21-3. Bartholomew Claybrook, a former second-round pick out of the University of Delaware, a Philadelphia native, forces a massive turnover, and now the Eagles are in a lot of trouble. The offense is really struggling. I think a lot of people are going to call for Jalen Hurts to get benched, but you know what? Jalen Hurts has taken us this far. I don't think the Eagles have a better shot of winning with Jimmy Garoppolo or Maddox Gillard. So Philadelphia is going to ride it out with Jalen Hurts until the wheels fall off. Good run of 14 yards by Rosemont St. Clair, who so far has been one of the few players on offense to show up. Tazewell Hubbard has also been one of the few guys to have a good start as he gains about 11. Hubbard with 62 yards on just 7 carries. He needs to get the ball more and be the focal point. At the 2-minute warning, 21-3 is your score. The Bears lead big, but I don't think the Eagles are out of it. They still have plenty of time to mount a comeback as Goddard gets 12. Unfortunately, Brandon Brooks, the right guard, is hurt on the play. Very next snap from the 20. Hurts goes short for Tykeem Keon. He brings it inside the 10. Keon had 8 catches for over 160 yards last week, all of which came in the first half. Second and goal. Hubbard trucks the defender and is in for a score. The Philadelphia Eagles are far from out of this game. A great run for Tazewell Hubbard, trucking Eddie Jackson into the end zone, and it's now 21-10. And keep in mind, Philadelphia opens up with the football in the second half. So the Eagles still have plenty of time to come back here, but they do have to get a stop here before the first half ends. The Bears start at the 40-yard line here on first down. Justin Fields under pressure. He's going to run with it. Fields with a first down, sliding forward to the 43 as the Chicago Bears call their first timeout. The Bears have Evan McPherson as their kicker. He knows a thing or two about making big kicks. But in the snow and the wind, we'll see. The Bears are definitely in field goal range now as Allen Robinson gains 15 yards, bringing it to the 28. Chicago calls timeout number 2. I'm sure they would love to score a touchdown, preferably make it a 3-score game as on first down. Fields goes short again, this time for Montgomery, who is wrapped up by Nehemiah Richardson at the 13. The Bears call their final timeout with 3 seconds left and will bring out the field goal team. It's a 30-yard kick for Evan McPherson. Normally a chip shot, but with the weather, no guarantees. But he does sink the kick, and that will conclude the first half. A very rough second quarter for the Philadelphia Eagles. They allowed a big touchdown run to David Montgomery, a pick 6 by Bartholomew Claybrook, and the Chicago Bears lead this game 24-10. The Eagles are currently down by 14 points. They do start with the ball in the second half. So if the Eagles can have a good drive and score a touchdown, they're right back in the ball game. So I would not count this team out just yet by any stretch because the Eagles have been probably the best team in the NFC this season. They are still really finding their way in this game, but I think that last drive is really going to give the offense a ton of momentum. And if the Eagles can continue to run the ball well, I think the offense will pick it up. And then the defense is going to need to start getting some stops well. Although Jalen Hurts has struggled, I do fear a little bit more for the defense. The Bears have thrown the ball well. The Bears have ran the ball well. So the game plan here in the second half will be to run the ball and stop the run. Although it's a playoff game and you need to throw the ball to win, with the weather, I'm really still focused on the ground game. So the Eagles offense returns to the field to start the third quarter, down by 14 points. Probably the biggest drive of the season for Jalen Hurts and company to try to get back into this game. We have an early 3rd and 11. Hurts under pressure, goes short for Tykeem Keon, and he does get the first down. It's very hard to see the first down yards marker because of the snow, but he did get 13 yards on that play. 2nd and 8 now. Hurts again, scrambling to the right side. Looking to throw it. He has his man. It's Devontae Smith who brings it to the 41, wrapped up by Claybrook. So far, so good on this drive. The Eagles are really focusing on throwing the ball, but it's working. Tazewell Hubbard now gets by the defender, pushed out at the 21-yard line by Eddie Jackson for a gain of 20. And the Eagles' offense has quickly responded in the third quarter. I told you the offense is going to gain some momentum off of that last drive and start to put the team back into the game. Devontae Smith gains 14 yards. That'll bring the Eagles to the 7. They are so close to this end zone. 3rd and goal. Hurts going to scramble. He has wide open room and is going to dive in himself. A 7-yard rushing touchdown for Jalen Hurts. And don't look now, but the Philadelphia Eagles are only down by one possession. 24-17. The Bears are still on top, but Philadelphia still has 15 minutes to pull off a comeback. And that's a good start to the drive on defense. Montgomery loses 2, wrapped up by Clelin Ferrell. If the Eagles' defensive line can win the battle of the trenches and stop the run, then I think this defense is going to really start to play a lot better. Fields connects with his main man. It's Cole Kmet to the 41-yard line. The Eagles' linebacking core, who's been great all year, has really struggled today covering Cole Kmet. And that's a big reason why the Bears are winning this game. There's David Montgomery on 2nd and 10. Stiff arms Nehemiah Richardson and is wrapped up by Johnson at the 26. A big play for Montgomery, who's been maybe the best player on the field today, completely dominating for this Bears offense. 1st and 10, 3:40 left in the third. Back to Kmet, wrapped up at the 12 by Burgess. Chicago's offense has come right back to business here in the third quarter, which should certainly be a cause for concern for Philadelphia. From the 12, Fields connects in the end zone with Dexter Dixon, the third, and the Chicago Bears are back up by 2 scores. 31-17, Bears lead it. Now the Eagles have it back on offense, and we're back to square one. 3rd and 4, St. Clair is stopped on the play. Jelani Tavai was the one who initially brought him down, along with Jordan Whitehead, who is injured on the play. That'll make it a 4th and 1 from the Chicago 34, and Philadelphia is going to go for it. A ballsy decision, but it pays off. The power back, Brick Johnson, gets about 4 yards, so the drive will stay alive. A gutsy call by head coach Champ Britton, but it works. From the 38, Hurts, very risky throw, should have been intercepted. Wow, he was lucky. That could have been a catastrophic turnover there for the Eagles, and that'll make it a 3rd and 9 from the 40. Hurts connects with his tight end, Dallas Goedert. Goedert was a little bit late to turn his head and see the football, but he does get the first down. Now there's 12 seconds left in the quarter. 3rd and 7. Hurts going to the right. Looks like he's going to try to run for the first down, and he only gets about 4, wrapped up by Khalil Mack. So that will pretty much conclude this third quarter. It remains a 14-point game. Both offenses are looking pretty good here as the Bears lead it 31-17. So it's a 4th and 4 to open up the fourth quarter. And again, the Eagles have no reason not to go for it. Hurts under a lot of pressure. Going to try to outrun the defender, which he does. Hurts still alive. Brings it to the 17. A gain of 23 on the ground by Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles successfully convert their second 4th down try of the drive. Very next play up the middle for Keon. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Tykeem Keon is currently playing with a shoulder strain. Normally the Eagles don't like to play players who are injured, but it's a playoff game. If you can play, you're on the field. Tykeem Keon really toughing it out as he brings it to a 1-score game. It's now 31-24. Chicago has it back. Justin Fields on the run, connects with Dominic Hughes to the 36. Hughes was picked off of a practice squad earlier this season, and with the injury of Darnell Mooney, he's become their wide receiver 3 and has really stepped up for them. First down now from the 36. It's going to go back to Dominic Hughes once again, who brings it to the 50. The Bears offense continuing to have no issues, just marching and imposing their will on this Eagles defense. And the Eagles have done so well on defense this season. I don't know why today they've been so poor. Another nice throw and catch for a first down to the 31-yard line for the Bears. They are getting so close to making it a 2-score game once again. 2nd and 8. Fields with a strike caught by Dominic Hughes, who brings it to the 13, wrapped up by Winston Johnson. The Eagles defense needs a red zone stop. They cannot let the Bears get into the end zone. Obviously, a turnover would be preferable. A field goal as well would not be worst-case scenarios. It's caught by Dixon, hit hard by Richardson, but that's a gain of 10 and another first down for the Bears, who don't have one of the better offenses in the league, but today they've been phenomenal. 3rd and goal from the 2. Fields' pass is lobbed up and nearly intercepted. Joko Nwosu should have tried to make a play on that ball, but he did stop the Bears from getting the touchdown. 4th and goal from the 2. Evan McPherson splits the uprights, and the Chicago Bears lead this game by 10 with about 5 minutes to play. 2nd and 4 to 35. Hurts going to take a shot. Downfield for Claypool. It's incomplete, but we have a flag. I think there was some contact there. Defensive pass interference called against the Chicago Bears. It's Brian Poole, and the Eagles now have it at the Chicago 11. What a massive penalty there for the Eagles. 3rd and 7. Hurts goes short for Smith, and he only gets about 3. So that gives Philadelphia a tough decision here. 4th and 3 at the 5-yard line. Field goal makes it a one-score game, and that's what they're going to do. I don't think a lot of people are going to like this call, but it's a one-possession game now as Zebediah Phoenix does make the kick. 34-27. If the Eagles can get a stop, which with how their defense is played is a lot easier said than done, but if they do get a stop, then they can drive down the field and try to tie the game. If you're the Bears, you just got to run the ball. David Montgomery has been balling all day long, as on first down he gets about 1. Josh Sweat is injured, so it's not ideal that Sweat gets hurt, but that's not the worst thing in the world, because now the Eagles get to stop the clock without using a timeout. Hopefully Sweat is all good. 2nd and 9, short throw for Kmet, who runs out of bounds. Again, no time taken off there, and the Eagles don't have to use a timeout. That'll make it a 3rd and 7. 5 wide set. Interesting play call here by Chicago. Fields takes a shot for the heavens, and it is going to be intercepted. Deshaun Elliott picks off the pass and returns it to about the 31. Not only do the Eagles have a chance, but they have a realistic chance to tie this game. A huge interception by Deshaun Elliott, who plays the ball perfectly. And with just over 3 minutes left to go, the Eagles are going to get the ball back down by 7. Can Jalen Hurts lead this team down the field and try to tie it? The biggest possession of his life in the snow against Chicago here in the NFC Divisional Round. We're going to show the entire drive play-by-play as on first down. It's a short gain of 4 for Devontae Smith, wrapped up by Roquan Smith. 2nd and 6, handoff for Tazewell Hubbard. Hubbard with a nice cut, gets the first and about more as he brings it to the 47. Hubbard now over the century mark in yardage as he has 108 on the day. From the 47, back to Tazewell Hubbard with more blocks. Hubbard with a spin move. He is tackled at the 41, and that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. In the second quarter, the Eagles were down 21-3. They looked like a dead man walking, and now they're only down by 7 with the football past the 50. Can they complete what would be one of the all-time miraculous comebacks? As on first down, Hurts is going to outrun Khalil Mack, slides out of bounds at the 25-yard line, again stopping the clock. Both teams have not had to use a timeout here in this second half, which is a very big deal. From the 25-yard line, Hurts looking to throw it, again scrambling to the right side, doesn't have anybody open, so he's going to run once more. Tackled by Mack, but not before gaining 8, and again stopping the clock. 2nd and 2, minute 45 left from the 17. Hurts will go short to the right for Delshawn Callaway-Riley, who gets 6, and again out of bounds to stop the clock. First down now from the 11. Philadelphia is going to look to run with it as Tazewell Hubbard gets about 2. So now that the Eagles are in the red zone, they're trying to chew clock. They don't want the Bears to get it back with much time. 2nd and 9. Hurts to the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Chase Claypool with the score, and the Eagles are an extra point away from tying it up. Chase Claypool has been a massive disappointment since being acquired from Pittsburgh, but he's had 2 of the biggest offensive plays of this game. The pass interference on the last drive, and now the touchdown on this drive. Doesn't really look like he got both feet in, but there would be no review, so the touchdown stands. The extra point is good, and this game is tied up at 34. But the Bears still have about a minute, and they still have all 3 timeouts. Can Justin Fields lead his team down the field to victory, or are we headed to an overtime? Again, we're going to show every play on this drive because, well, it's a pretty damn important drive. First down for Chicago. Fields looking to throw it. He goes short for Allen Robinson. He gets about 8. The Bears, rather than using one of their 3 timeouts, would surprisingly go no huddle. As Fields has a wide open man, it's Cole Kmet who goes out of bounds at the 42. I don't know what the Eagles were doing there in coverage. Their defense clearly rushed back to the line of scrimmage, and nobody saw Kmet wide open on the right side. So now the Bears have it past the 50. They're probably a first down away from field goal range, and they still have all 3 timeouts. 30 seconds to go. Fields under pressure, sacked by Bobby Wagner. A huge takedown there for Wagner, and the Bears call timeout number 1. We're down to 26 seconds. 2nd and 15 here for the Bears. Fields looking to throw it. He will find a wide open Allen Robinson. This time nobody was on the left side of the field for the Eagles defense. Robinson is out of bounds at the 25, and Chicago is officially in field goal range. So now they are going to start likely to running the football. David Montgomery gets about 3, and it's the Bears who call a timeout, not the Eagles. A little bit surprising there. 2nd and 7, down to 16 seconds, and 1 timeout for Chicago. It's Montgomery. Bounces off a blocker. Montgomery off to the races. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery puts the Bears ahead with 10 seconds left. What a drive by Justin Fields, and Chicago finished off by a great run by David Montgomery. So now it's 41-34. The Eagles need a miracle. Here's McPherson with the kickoff. The running back, Brick Johnson, is going to let it roll out of bounds. A very heads-up play there by the rookie. So because of that, the Eagles are going to start at the 40. They need to drive 60 yards down the field within 10 seconds, but they do have all 3 timeouts. So it's not impossible. Hurts on 1st down, scrambling. He goes short for Devontae Smith, who is tackled out of bounds at the 32. Eagles call a timeout. Clock sits at 3 seconds. So this play right here is for the game. The Eagles need a 32-yard touchdown for all the marbles. Hurts goes deep for Smith. It's caught, but out of bounds. And the ball game is over. The Chicago Bears, in miraculous fashion, have won it. 41-34 is your final, and the Bears, for the 2nd time in 3 years, are headed to the NFC Championship. And that means season number 3 is adjourned for our Philadelphia Eagles. Wow, what a game. The Eagles were down 21-3 halfway through the 2nd quarter. They could have rolled over and quit, but they fought until the final seconds. And although it was a heartbreaking finish, it was not for a lack of effort. As we look at Jalen Hurts embracing the moment, embracing the field for one final time in what could be his last game as an Eagle with his contract up. Hurts with a mix of cheers and boos as he goes back to the locker room. I don't think he deserves any boos. Jalen Hurts fought his butt off today, and even if this is his last game as an Eagle, him and his team did not go without swinging. Jalen Hurts is an unbelievable leader. He played extraordinarily well in the 4th quarter, and even if he struggled early in this game, and even if he's had his poor moments throughout his 4-year tenure with the team, he was a fighter, and he really gave it his all. Justin Fields was also very solid, -2 interceptions, but both of his interceptions were more so really good plays by us. Both teams ran the ball very well. Tazewell Hubbard and David Montgomery were phenomenal. They were the 2 best players on both of their offenses, but Montgomery got the upper hand. Cole Kmet was a beast, 9 catches for 135 yards. Robinson, Keon, and Dixon all with touchdowns. Devontae Smith as well was very close to 100 yards. Both offensive lines were very good in this game, and the defenses, not so much. Our defense has been phenomenal all year long, but when it came down to it, they came up short. Both kickers were very solid. They made all their kicks despite the weather conditions. So as I went to quit the game did not end up saving, which was kind of funny. So hypothetically, I could have replayed it over, but I don't really think that's fair. The Bears won fair and square, and we got treated to an instant classic. So even though the game did not end up saving, I decided not to replay it. I think people are probably going to get pretty mad at me for that, but I think people would have got mad if I cheated the system. So that is how season number 3 will come to a close. And as we enter the offseason, we've got some big decisions to make. We've got a ton of cap space. We've got plenty of draft capital. And we've got a number of key free agents, most notably starting quarterback Jalen Hurts, who has been our quarterback all 3 seasons. And he's done good in each of our first 3 years. In season 1, he was a Pro Bowl alternate. Last year, he went up in dev trait, and this year he won his first playoff game. However, is Jalen Hurts the type of guy who can lead a team to a Super Bowl? And that's what we have to assess this offseason as we look to re-sign him along with a number of other players. So that's going to conclude today's episode. I know it was not the final result we wanted, but it was still an unbelievably thrilling game. Next episode, we're going to go through a lot. We're going to finish the playoffs, we're going to go through free agency, and we're going to have the draft preview. Normally, I would do the free agency and draft preview separately, but I've decided to combine them into one. So next episode is going to be wild. Hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.